Blogging changed my life. If 3 years ago, someone has said to me that you will make $78,000 in a single month from your blog while working full-time as a lawyer, and then you will quit your 9 to 5 job as a lawyer, and you will be able to pay $150,000 in student loans from your blogging income, I would have said you're crazy. And the truth is, I was able to do that and a lot more. So in this video, I want to share with you 10 really important things that you need to know before you start your blog. Before we get started with that list, welcome. My name is Amira. I am the business lawyer, blogger, and coach behind aselfguru.com, where I help you make money online and legally protect your business. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I have a free legal guide for you where I walk you through the 3 big legal mistakes that you want to avoid as a new blogger. The link to that will be in the description below. The first thing to think about before starting your blog is to pick the right blogging niche. Remember that passion doesn't always equal money. Just because you're passionate about writing about a specific topic, it doesn't mean that it's going to turn into a success and make you money. For example, when I started blogging about the legal aspects of starting a business, it was really hard to monetize it in the beginning. I had to work extra hard because it is not one of those profitable niches that just takes off. Now, there are other blog niches such as, food bloggers, travel, personal finance, business, DIY, and crafting. All of these are a lot more easier to, make money from. And to help you decide on the right blogging niche for your business, I put together this helpful blog post where I walk you through 66 blog niche ideas, and I help you decide on the right one that is actually going to be worth your time and make you money. The second thing you need to do before you start your blog is to run a trademark search for the name that you're selecting for your blog. Because under the trademark law, you can't infringe upon someone else's name. So in other words, whatever name that you're selecting for your blog, just make sure that there isn't another business in your industry under the same name. Because if you do end up infringing upon someone else's trademark, then you will be liable for hundreds and thousands of dollars in damages. And not only that, you will be forced to go ahead and change your entire blog name. So this has happened to so many bloggers I know, and you want to make sure that you run that trademark search before you pick a name. And then also, if you need help with the trademark search, you can always hire a lawyer like me to conduct the search for you, or you could visit the USPTO's website and do the search yourself. Let's talk about the third thing that you need to know as a blogger before you launch your blog. And this one is really important, and a lot of new bloggers forget about it. And that is protecting your blog legally. Because after all, your blog is an actual business. And just like any other business out there, you have to cover yourself and make sure you're doing things the right way. So one of the ways to legally protect yourself as a blogger is to make sure that you have 3 website legal pages on your blog before you launch it. The first one is what you need is what's called a privacy policy. It's legally required to have a proper privacy policy on your blog. And the second one you need is what's called a blog disclaimer. It basically limits your legal liability for the content that you publish. So this way people can't come after you and sue you for damages. The third one that you need is what's called terms and conditions. These are your website rules, and it also protects your intellectual property and many other things. I walk you through all 3 website legal pages that you absolutely need on your blog before you launch in this helpful video. And because a lot of bloggers struggle with how to write a proper privacy policy, disclaimer, terms and conditions, after all, you're not a lawyer, so you're just a blogger. You're not expected to know how to write all this legal stuff on your own. So that's why, to save you a lot of time and money, I put together 3 helpful legal bundles that you can instantly download and make your blog legal in the next 15 minutes. So take a look at my starter, premium, or VIP legal bundle that has helped thousands of bloggers just like you. For example, look at my customer Brenda, who purchased one of my legal bundles before she even wrote a word on her blog. And that is the right way to do this. You want to make sure that you have proper legal protections in place before you launch your blog. I will link to the legal bundles in the description if you would like to check it out. Talking about blogging legally, there are a couple of other things that you have to keep in mind before you start your blog. Number 1, you have to ensure that your blog is compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act, also known as ADA, so that people with disabilities can access your blog content. Don't worry, I give you the legal bundle for that as well. It will be in the description of the video. The second thing you have to start thinking about is perhaps forming an LLC for your blog at some point. Maybe not right away, but at some point you want to start thinking about what business legal entity that you're going to form to separate your business from your personal assets and limit your legal liability. The fourth thing that you have to keep in mind before you start your blog has to do with picking the right blogging platform. I totally recommend WordPress.org because that's the one that I use. It's self-hosted versus picking a free one that's going to limit you. If you're serious about turning your blog into an actual business, then I recommend WordPress.org. And you also want to make sure that you use a professional looking theme. So I recommend elegant themes or StudioPress themes to give your blog the professional appearance that it really needs to stand out. Before we get to tip number 5 that you need to know, I would really appreciate if you would give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you. Are you ready for tip number 5? This one is going to speak to my perfectionist friends. Perfectionist friends, you know, because if you are a perfectionist like me, then comment below and let me know, because I am such a perfectionist. I mean, over the years, working as a lawyer for more than 10 years, I have to be, because if I want to do a good job for my clients, then I have to make sure everything is perfect. But in my very first year of blogging, I quickly realized that that was a huge mistake, because if I wanted to get things done as a blogger, I had to embrace that done is better than perfect. And so do you know, so from the very beginning, don't get stuck on small things. Oh, my blog post isn't perfect or my design isn't perfect. Don't worry about it. Just do it. Put yourself out there and just launch. Tip number 6 for starting your blog, actually, no, before you start your blog, and that has to do with learning Google SEO. I made this mistake of not learning SEO because I thought it would be so time consuming and I was intimidated by SEO, to be honest with you. And I just kept postponing it. But then what happened is that I published quite a few blog posts, and then later on they weren't even ranking on Google. So I was wasting so much time publishing content that wasn't getting me any traffic. So you want to avoid all of this and make sure that you learn SEO from the very beginning. If you are stuck on how to get started, then I will go ahead and link to a couple of resources that I personally use, such as ebooks as well as a masterclass that really helped me, and all of that will be in the description below. So tip number 7 is to create a business Pinterest account and start learning Pinterest SEO. Pinterest SEO is going to be really big in terms of getting that initial traffic to your blog when you're nobody. I mean, in the beginning, I didn't even have a Pinterest account before I started my blog. Actually, wait, I didn't even have any social media presence before I started my blog. So if I can do it, you can totally do it. You just need to create that Pinterest business account, maybe an Instagram account, maybe a Facebook account, and start kind of sharing that content on these platforms, because in the beginning, that's how you're going to get that initial traffic. And also join some Facebook groups. I mean, I invite you to join my own Facebook group. We have daily share threads where bloggers share their content freely, and this way we all help each other out. We are on tip number 8 that you need to know before you start your blog, and that has to do with creating your email list from day one. Make sure that you create a lead magnet, some sort of a free guide or freebie that you offer to your blog readers in exchange for their email, and start building that email list from day one. Tip number 9 that you need to know before starting your blog is to think clearly about your blog monetization strategy or strategies. You need to think about, like, how are you going to make money blogging? Are you going to focus primarily on affiliate marketing in the beginning, or are you going to create your own digital products or services? Whatever your strategy looks like, it's really helpful to plan ahead so that you can spend your time wisely and focus your efforts accordingly. For example, in my case, I knew from the very beginning that I wanted to monetize my blog through digital products of my own. So that's why I didn't waste time creating my own products. In fact, in my 2 weeks of launching my blog, I had already created like 4 different legal templates that entrepreneurs need. So that was my strategy. And till this day, I make the most money from my own digital products and services. As you can see, my last blog income report here in this video, where I walk you through $78,000 that I made in a single month. But your blog monetization strategy might look different. You might focus on sponsorships. So whatever your strategy looks like, you need to kind of think ahead and pick one or two different ways that you're going to make money blogging. So this way you don't experience burnout. Okay guys, if you made it this far, I'm so proud of you. You are going to be such a huge success. And before we get to the last tip that you need to know, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So the last blogging tip that I want to leave you with has to do with investing in yourself as a blogger and entrepreneur. A lot of people have this hesitation of spending money on themselves, especially when it comes to growing their business skills. And I don't know why, but I never had that mentality. Maybe because I value my time so much. Like as a lawyer, I always say that time is money. And I always look at things this way, that if I can save even a day or an hour and learn something from someone much faster than me wasting time Googling and researching things on my own, then that's totally worth it, you know? So that's why when it was time for me to launch my blog, I invested in a really comprehensive pro blogger bundle that walked me through everything I needed to make 6 figures in my first year. And I did. Not only that, but in my second year, I made 7 figures. So I really encourage you to invest in your education and make sure you take a blogging course. And if you want to look at the one that I took, I'll link it in the description. But definitely, invest in your education, invest and learn the new business skills, because after all, blogging is a business. And if you want to make sure that you're successful, you have to learn from the best. And if you would like to learn more about this blogging course as well as my results with it, then I will leave you with this blog post that you can check out. Lastly, before you go, if you need any personalized one-on-one blog coaching or any other questions that you have, you can always post them in the description of this video, or you could schedule a blog coaching call with me where I can answer and help you out with any of your business, blogging, or legal questions. As always, thank you for liking the video and subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to grab your free legal guide below, where I walk you through the 3 big legal mistakes that you want to avoid in your blogging business. I will see you next.